This video is of Charlie Kirk talking to a college student about objective morality. This one will get you to really think. Let's watch it and talk about it after.
Hi, Charlie. Thank you so much for coming here. I think it's really good that you come to campuses and talk to people who disagree with you. I also think it's like a testament, like you've like gotten a really big following, and it's a testament to the fact that capitalism works and merit-based societies work, that we can actually grow our influence. And so I agree with you with a lot of things, but I do disagree with you with like two or three particular points. And I hope to like go touch on all of them. Firstly, it's about morality and the fact that your claim that objective morality exists. I disagree with that. I think morality is relative for everyone or subjective, and it kind of like grows as with the culture and as the culture changes. What are your thoughts about that, and how do you justify objective morality?
Do you believe in absolute truth?
What do you mean by absolute truth?
Absolute truth, like that there is truth absolute for all people.
Yes.
You do? Okay, that's objective morality.
That's objective facts. I won't say that's morality.
Okay, so do I have permission to ask you a provocative question?
Sure.
Was-
I know what you're going to ask.
Okay, fine. I mean, was Hitler objectively wrong?
No. So, I do...
What was the Holocaust objectively evil?
I want to like make a distinction between like my personal views that I do feel that it is wrong, but I can't say that it is like objectively wrong because I don't believe that objective morality exists. Like can I ask you like why do you think objective morality exists, and how do you like ground that objective morality in?
Well, first, of course, we believe that the Lord of the heavens and the earth gave us that objective reality through revelation.
Okay.
But secondly, we believe it's written on the heart of every human. You know, in Nuremberg, it's very interesting. When they did the Nuremberg trials, and the Nazis basically said, well, in our country it was right, therefore it's right. Do you know that in Nuremberg they rejected that? They said, no, every human being knows that killing 6 million, babies and kids is wrong. And so do you think there's anything built into us of a moral compass that prevents us from doing evil and we have to try to stifle it?
I think there are moral intuitions that everyone has, but again, like those moral intuitions can differ from person to person, right? Like I might say that, like I don't know, like doing something is wrong, but like someone else might say, oh, it's fine in this situation. So like, how do you distinguish? Like, so it's obviously subjective, right? Like everyone might have their own opinions on what is right and what is wrong. So how do you how do you make a framework that says that, like, these are the rules of what is right and what is wrong, and like how do you ground
The
that?
more important question is, do you believe in God? Which I guess you do not.
I'm agnostic. Like,
Okay, so that's where, okay, so if you don't believe in, this actually, what's your name? Sorry.
Abhinav.
Yeah, well, you're making a great argument. And your argument is totally correct, which is that if you don't believe in God, then you cannot say that the Holocaust was wrong. In order to believe that, in order to believe something is objectively wrong, you must believe in God. Because if you believe in God, then you believe that there's a transcendent moral order that is over all of us. And you're proving that point, and it's not even a criticism. You are being consistent.
Okay.
And to your point, which is that, so we believe that there is a God that has rules for life. We believe that was given to Moses primarily at Mount Sinai. Thou shalt not murder, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery. And that every society and every culture lives under that natural law. And so, but it's very interesting that if we get away from the idea of a belief in God and the transcendent, you can see how dangerous that is for society.
So I was really, I was impressed with Charlie's ability to just immediately go to like, okay, hold on. He probably doesn't believe in God. And when you think about it, the student is consistent, because if you don't have any sort of faith or belief in God in your own life, then essentially there is no higher moral authority, higher moral being that has given us what Charlie would be talking about is this objective morality. Me personally, so for example, I'm not religious. I'm not actively going to temple. I'm not going to synagogue all the time. I'm still on this sort of own self-discovery of what it is, what is God in my life and what is my faith. I'm absolutely a big believer in energy. I'm absolutely a big believer in things happening for certain reasons, and I think that you can create your own luck and all this stuff. But when asked if the Holocaust, was it objectively wrong, was it objectively evil, and he says no, that's because what me, as somebody who does have faith, and maybe you watching and listening to this video, like what you and I might classify objectively as right and wrong is not what that kid's going to classify objectively as right and wrong. What's really interesting is when you look at the 7th of October and what unfolded in the Middle East between Israel and the Palestinians in Gaza, or should I say Hamas, for all the people who are defending Israel, we as a collective unit, even though you have people on the religious spectrum, you have people who are in the secular spectrum, and you have people in the agnostic spectrum, would all classify the right and the wrong. You don't need to have this necessary belief in God to be able to distinct between such vile, sadistic behavior and a country and a people that is just trying to survive. The same way that you shouldn't have to, like this kid, you don't have to believe in God, but you should be able to say that objectively, killing people in the manner and the fashion that they were killed in the Holocaust, in the manner and the fashion that they were killed on the 7th of October, objectively wrong. Now, the question is, where does that objective description come from in my life? Just like Charlie said, if you don't believe in God, then who am I to create that objective framework, which is, I think, one of the things that Charlie's saying to him, which is like you're consistent about. But even if you listen to the reaction of the people watching the video or watching the conversation, when the kid said, no, it's not objectively wrong, and you had everybody go, oh. So I guess is the question, are most of the people watching then believers in God, believers in faith? Because I would put my money on the table and say that there are other people that are agnostic in that crowd that also made that sound, which means that they also agree that that comment that the Holocaust was not objectively bad was not the right comment. So I would say, even in the context of October 7th, you have a lot of people in the world who don't have a deep connection to their religion or faith, but still have the ability to pull from an objective framework to understand the right and wrong. And I don't know, he seems like an interesting kid. I would love to have the conversation with him, and maybe Charlie had some more, so I'll try to find up some more videos. Thank you so much for all your support. See you next time.
If you want to continue the conversation, you can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to take it one step further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description, and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.